Coming up next.
I'll be like, Uncle Amos, I can show you that trail. This space, it's toxic, it's grueling, it's a lot of things. He was like, Siasa, please. Do you need moisture? Are you kidding me? On Twitter, oh, you come from a corrupt family. In fact, the money you're using is what was stolen. I'm like, come and check my books.
Her primary role is to ensure Siasa Place influences people who normally shy away from politics by showing them the correlation between politics and day-to-day living. Not an easy task for a country whose young are considered averse to politics.
I have to say it's my faith. My faith is what gives me strength. And not only that, I would say I am small but I'm mighty. And I believe that to the T. But also, I was reading Lean In by Sandra Sandberg. And I was like, you know, she also talks about being CEO, even being in Facebook, and the challenges that it comes with, and balancing family. There's so many things that women deal with. For me, it's probably, you're so small. For another woman, she feels too big. For another one, it's my short hair. For another one, I can't grow hair. Like, all of us have problems. We all have problems. If we had to sit down and write them all, it would not end today. And so for me, it's about confidence. It's about you self-loving and not really seeking people's approval to be yourself. And once you realize that, I think you become free. And like I told you, I was in the States for 7 years. And I was in a predominantly white state. And there were hardly any Africans. And when we talk about racism, there's also a divide between Black Americans and Africans. So when you live in that space at such a core age, it molds you into such a confident person. Because I've had it all before. I've had even worse. More than you're less than human. You're even the rate of an animal, but at least an animal. I've had it all before. And these are things that leaders go through. So if you are a leader, you should expect criticism, and sometimes complete negative, useless criticism. But you must have a hard core. Otherwise, there's absolutely no way you're going to be able to lead people. They're going to criticize you, they're not going to like you, they're going to hate you, they're going to want to spit in your face. Sometimes they come see you, they lie that they love you. It is part of living in this world.
To operate an NGO and facilitate all these talks, Siasa Place has to operate on donors, but how does she secure them?
Through networking, through the work that we do, writing proposals, and it's not easy. You know, people think that you can write an application and you don't receive a response or even funding until next year. It can take a whole year. People think it's something that can take, oh, I wrote and I won. By the way, it's nothing like that. And so learning how to even write reports. And the way I told you, our group is all youth. We do a lot of capacity building. We do a lot of workshops in the office. They have a program called Writers Podium, which they all take. So you have to be able to write and research and collect data. And so I would say it's doing your work and doing it well, and then to go one step up when you approach other donors to make sure you show, this is what I've been able to do. Now I need funding to do this, but then I can show you that I can do this because I've done this. And so that's what we tell you, consistency lacks. You know, you can start an organization with such oomph and energy, and then 1 year, 2 years down the line, you're showing up to work at 10, you're leaving at 3, because now you're the boss, you know, you make your rules. But then you need to know that you're holding things accountable. So the only competition in my eyes is me. I need to do better than I'm doing.
Nerima Wako is a niece to former Attorney General Amos Wako, a name not new to many Kenyans.
You know, people always jump to that conclusion or assume. And it's funny because when I first told my uncle about Siasa Place, he chuckled. He He was like, Siasa, please. Interesting name. And that was it. And the support that he gives me is, do what you feel is right. That's the support my uncle gives me. And that time when I was having the battle with the name, I went and asked him for advice. I said, so I have to change my name. They won't give us the name Siasa, please. What do you think? And my uncle looks at me and he says, this is your battle. If you feel you're gonna fight for it, fight for it. But you've gotta go to jail for your name. It's yours. And so my uncle has been supportive of my work. And he's the kind of person when I know that I get to an area, because he's very experienced in politics, that I need his advice, I will call him. But that's as far as it goes. I'll be like, Uncle Amos, so I'm working in Busia right now. We have a county budget reading. I'm hearing there's some youth who are interfering with the project because he's the senator of Busia. And I'm like, I just want you to know I'm in the area. So I hope it's not interfering with your politics. And he'll just laugh. Things are okay. I already got a report. See, you guys are in Funula. I'm like, yeah, okay, sawa. That's it. But I need to work on myself. And I think a lot of times we waste so much time looking around us and not enough time improving ourselves. My life mantra, what would I say it would be? It would be try and shine every day. Try. Because sometimes we wake up, especially now, there are a lot of people going through depression. And mental health is not talked about at all. And we need to be more frank and open about it. There are moments where things get really hard in life, but you're supposed to have this image like an Instagram profile where you only show the highs. And so I am more about authenticity. And so even though sometimes I have my lows of lows, I will try my best with the people around me, at least, to shine through them. Because I found, for me anyway, when I'm really struggling emotionally, I get joy in seeing somebody else with joy. The biggest thing I've learned is facing things with grace. As much as people say rude comments, some even sexual advances, and just not taking you as seriously as you feel you deserve, or respect you deserve. And even when we get emotive, and this is something that I noticed, when women are very passionate about issues, our voice tends to get higher pitched. So, or even when we get angry, it will get higher pitched. And it's not intentional, it's natural. And so in my space, I have learned to remain calm. I want to have governance experts, governance analysts, people who are professionals at campaigning, financing, understanding politics, but not as ethnic, tribal based, but ideas and strategy. That's what I hope we will be channeling out. And it will be the one-stop shop for people who are interested in political conversations, bills and policies, and understanding them. That's where I hope to see it in 10 years. Training youth to think different and also behave different when it comes to the leadership of this country. I say take one step. Like when we go to universities and talk about engagement, starting with student council. We were in Chuka University with Akili Dada in a room of 40 young women. We asked, how many of you will vie for a seat in student leadership? One put up her hand, and I went and talked to that girl. I said, you're going for what? For president? And I said, you give me your number. That's all you need to do. Just to have the courage to even try. And I keep telling women, especially young women, this space, it's toxic, it's grueling, it's a lot of things, but the fruit you cannot compare. Because as you're paving ways, you're paving ways for so many other women, but it has to take at least one to speak up. And sometimes I really admire Martha Karua, because some of the things that she did, and she did it during Moi's time. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me. That is courage.